Received information from a parent of a potential threat at the Encore High School. It's a charter school in the city of Hesperia. Some of that initial information was verified and confirmed through social media. Our deputies continued working on the investigation through the weekend, working closely with the school district. On Sunday, we were able to identify a potential suspect who is a student at Encore High School. That student was interviewed, but there was not enough information at that point to charge that student criminally, to make an arrest, or to further that investigation specific to that student. On Monday morning, our deputies and detectives were present at the school, interviewed a number of students as well as staff members in regards to these threats to gain any additional information that they may have as it related to this incident that began on Saturday. On Tuesday, our detectives were able to get enough information to secure a search warrant from a judge. That search warrant was served at the students' parents' homes. 2 homes, both of the parents, that search warrant was served at those 2 homes. Our deputies discovered information that supported those threats that were originally described on Saturday by the parent and social media. Although we generally don't talk about information of evidentiary value, especially when the case is still pending, we believe it's important to share some of the detailed information with you that our investigators were able to obtain through the search warrants. One of which being a list of names, 33 names, that were identified as potentials that could have been shot at the school. This threat all surrounded a shooting at the school that this student was going to be involved in. 33 names of students and teachers at that school were identified in that list. That student had limited access to firearms, as well as there was some information about explosives that was obtained during the search warrant. Nothing specific of evidentiary value, but information to suggest potential explosives. Out of an abundance of caution today, our bomb squad, along with dogs, searched the Encore High School. Nothing was located to support any claims that a bomb was on that campus. The student in question has been arrested and is being held at the High Desert Juvenile Detention Center. Parents are well aware and have been cooperating with our officers during the investigation, as has the staff at the school in Hesperia. We've met with the parents. We just left that meeting and explained to the parents what we know at this point. The student has not been at school all week. The parents kept that student home until ultimately the student was arrested yesterday evening. I've been in conversations with our district attorney, Mike Ramos, about this case, and the criminal case has been forwarded to the Victorville Juvenile Division for review and possible prosecution. Ready for any questions?
Sheriff, do you have a motivation for this attack?
There is some information we discovered during the investigation as it relates to motive, but I'm not at liberty to discuss that at this point. I don't want to damage the potential criminal case that's pending.
Sheriff, was there any terrorist threat?
There's no connection to terror that we've been able to determine as a result of our investigation. And the information we have at this point is he was the lone suspect in this plot. There is no information to suggest he was working with any other students or anybody from outside.
Can you tell us anything about the student, maybe age, grade?
I can tell you that he's a student at the high school. I don't want to get into any more specifics as it relates to the age, race, gender of the student because of the protection issues, because the student is a juvenile.
Sheriff, in fact, can you tell me how imminent this was? Was this something he was planning and in the process of something that was taking place in the planning stages?
We discovered a detailed plan. Now, when that plan was going to be executed, we don't know at this point, and I can't discuss that any further anyway. However, there was a detailed plan that we found during the search of the residences.
Can you tell us what type of weapons that you found at the homes?
Now, I better not talk about the specific weapons at this point.
But you say he had limited access to weapons, but there weren't weapons at his home, so were they locked up?
There were weapons at the home, and he had limited access to them. They were legally registered, and I don't want to go into any more detail about the location of the weapons and how he would have had access, because I don't want to compromise them.
Does he have any other family members that attend that school?
I can't comment on that because I don't know at this point. There'll be some staff here from the school that may be able to.
Why did it take until Saturday to, bring out the dogs? I mean, if you guys said you seen it on Saturday, did you guys go out Saturday to the school? Or did you wait until, today to do the dogs?
School was closed on Saturday and Sunday. We started the investigation on Saturday, continued into Sunday.
Alright.
A potential suspect was identified on Sunday. That suspect was interviewed, but there was not enough information at that point to make an arrest or charge him criminally.
Do you feel he acted alone?
Yes,
Did this stem from an altercation between him and another student, getting into an argument, a fight of some sort?
the motive to this attack, or potential attack, is still part of the investigation, and we don't want to discuss at this point until the case has been reviewed and a determination's been made by the DA's office why we believe this was moving in the direction there.
Do you feel that it's gonna be any retaliation if he's not convicted at all?
I don't know about any retaliation. The school is in the process of keeping him from coming back to school. Currently, he is in custody. How long he stays in custody will be determined by the juvenile authorities and the DA.
Will the parents of the school be notified of his release if they release him?
We are going to check into that only because he's a juvenile, and to give you information about a